Good morning. Welcome back to Country Roads Life. This morning I wanted to go over my new partner for hauling firewood, as well as I'll probably end up putting a tank in the bed of the truck for when I do maple syrup. I'd consider getting a dump trailer, but if you get a good dump trailer, even a used one is very pricey, and a new one is exceptionally pricey. Kevin from Mill Gap Farms had pointed out the fact that if you get a dump truck, that's another vehicle you have to license and insure and maintain, and those are all very good points, and I think that's definitely something to consider. I only have a half-ton truck, so even if I did get a dump trailer like a 16K, I would need a 3/4 ton or a 1-ton truck to pull it with. With this here, I didn't need to get a new truck anyhow, and it's a little bit easier to move around some of these logging sites I go to than trying to back trailers in. And I got it for much less than you would pay for a good used dump trailer or exceptionally a brand new dump trailer. So this is Fred, is what his moniker is, and he's a 1988 GMC 3500 in excellent shape. Even the interior's in very good shape. There's one crack on the dash right here, and there is one crack on the seat right here where your right hand side would sit. I got the old school, I remember these seat covers from when I was a kid, so I wanted to get one of those. It's a 4-speed, low range, then first, second, and third. It's 4-wheel drive, which helps me get in and out of some of these sites. It's a solid truck. There's just a little bit of rust in a few places, like one right here. And then there's a place on the frame of the dump bed that I can get those patched and welded. I did a little bit of a tune-up. The front tire on this side was parked in the sun, so it was dry rotted. I couldn't get the same tire, so I bought 2 brand new front tires, had them mounted and balanced. I changed the oil in it, put new plugs, new wires, new distributor cap, new fuel filter, new belts, and I did have to put an alternator on it. It wasn't charging the battery the way it should, and left me setting one time. The only real damage to it is the gentleman I bought it off of, the person that had him before him, actually backed a wood splitter in right here, and my plan is to get a new fender and replace that. That'll probably be a year or so from now, because once I get that fender and I get it painted, I'm probably want to just go ahead and paint the whole truck. As for the insurance, I'm here in West Virginia, and I chose just to get liability on this coverage. I don't drive it a whole lot. It is a heavy metal truck, so I'm not so worried about deer that we have a lot of here. And I figure if I have an at-fault accident, it'll be my responsibility, and I can pay for whatever's damaged there. The liability would cover if I'm at fault and I would, God forbid, injure somebody or damage their vehicle. But everything's in really good shape. At the end of the video, I'll go over the tailgate. There is a little bit of an issue with the tailgate with these clamps here. And I'll kind of explain that a little more in depth. But starts up, runs, drives. I've been hauling logs with it, been hauling firewood with it, and does very good. Now, the other thing to consider if you watch Firewood at the furnace, he went over your different types of licensing and things like that, and he's very knowledgeable about it. Did a very good in-depth series on it. I would encourage anybody that wants to get a dump truck or does any hauling or anything like that. I am only hauling firewood for myself right now. Yes, I do sell firewood, but I primarily use this at the farm. And here in West Virginia, you can do what's called a farm use plate. You basically go to your local courthouse. You have to have a registered farm and a farm number. And then you show them that you do have the vehicle properly insured. And once it's in, you show them that, then you pay $2 and they give you a farm use inspection sticker to put in your windshield. Unlike our regular inspection stickers where they go over everything, they have to see the truck, it's not necessary. There are restrictions. You can only drive the truck for a certain number of miles from your farm. I can't remember if it's 20 or 50, but it's not really any more than what I would be driving anyhow. Back and forth from where I live, it's about 9 miles up the road to my farm, which is where I get most of my wood from and everything. And actually, in all reality, if you do go a little bit over the mileage, unless you're doing something just to draw attention to yourself, they don't normally hassle you. But you put that plate on the front, and you put a farm use plate on the back, and then you don't have to mess with your vehicle inspection and all that. Now, if I decide to work this truck, like say I get a small excavator and I want to start doing work, or I want to haul stone for other people or do work for other people, then I would need to commercially license the truck through the DMV, which then they would do an inspection. The only thing I have really that doesn't work is my license plate light. I need to do a little work on it. But other than that, it would pass a vehicle inspection for a commercial license. I just haven't chosen to do that at this time because I'm not utilizing it in that manner. But it's a pretty good old truck. And I wanted to kind of do a series called Firewood with Fred, or Fridays with Fred, since that's what I've named it. But we'll go and get some logs this morning, and I'll show you them loading the logs and bringing it back here and dumping them, and then probably do some other videos on bucking them up and getting them ready to split. But everyone, this is Fred. some really good oak pieces right there. Only takes about 3 or 4 minutes and I've got an entire truckload of firewood ready to go. It's a pretty good load of logs this time. This is why some of these couldn't go to the mill. They split when they hit the ground part way up, but those are some pretty good sized logs. They'll all make good firewood. Yeah, back up here and get this one dumped out, and then that'll be it for today. Well, I got a couple of loads in today, 3 actually in total. Here's those bigger logs. Looks like almost everything was oak today. And it looks like there might be maple in there. Probably a couple cords of wood. Wasn't too bad. Altogether probably just driving back and forth, maybe an hour altogether hauling it. You'll probably notice in the last couple of dump loads there, I had the tailgate off. I fought with that thing for longer than it took me to haul all this wood. I'm going to have to do some work on it to adjust the pawls so the tailgate will stay locked on for me. I got these 2 big white oak from the state road. They're clearing the ditches up next to the farm. So I just pulled up and they load them in a truck and I brought them home. Still got to get this split up. That's from that other butt pile cutoff, pile of butt end cutoffs from that other logging site. I'll show you what I was talking about over here with the dump truck and a little bit of issue that I've had. I've actually emptied several of these bins already this summer for bundle wood and campfire wood, and then I've managed to fill them back up since then. These 2 pawls right here, I call them pawls, clamps, whatever you want to say. The bottom of the tailgate sits there and this clamps down on it, and then when you tailgate, there's a lever on the other side that you throw. It opens these, lets the bottom open if you want tailgate stone or whatnot. But you can pull the pins up top here, drop the tailgate down flat if you're dumping something bulky like logs or whatnot. But where these aren't clamping down all the way, when I take the pins out of the top, the whole tailgate wants to come off. So here's the lever on the front. Then there's a rod runs all the way down the length here, and then it has another rod that goes across that controls both of those. I think the linkage is rusted and it just needs adjustment. I'll take it down to my buddies and we'll raise the bed up. We'll probably end up taking the whole entire linkage out of there, clean everything up, oil it really well, do some adjustments to get these clamped down all the way. That way I won't have to fight with it as much. I do prefer to have the tailgate on there if I'm hauling, so I don't have the risk of something coming out, or the one area I'm coming out of is kind of steep, so I don't want to have any of the logs slide out onto the logging road where I'm working. But it's just like with any other old vehicle. You'll have things you have to work on. That's a pretty good, reliable old truck. Definitely a good purchase.